Hey y'all, the elevated one here, and today's video is an idea that was brought to me by 107289. I apologize if I mispronounced your name, but he or she suggested that I do top 10 best finishers but different categories. I don't know if you mean like 10 finishers from each category or just 10 in total. I probably might not even give you 10 in total, but I will go through different types of moves and tell y'all what I think are the best finishers of those categories. First one listed is moves from the top rope. So we got all kinds of moves from the top rope. We got the frog splash, which is iconic now, probably one of the most iconic diving top rope moves of all time. I feel like Eddie Guerrero probably made it the most famous, but he actually borrowed the move from his old tag team partner Love Machine after he unfortunately passed away. But you see a lot of Mexican-born wrestlers doing the frog splash, doing the shoulder shimmy on the top rope. The crowd chants Eddie because we all know what these wrestlers are hinting at. I love a good old frog splash. We can go from Eddie Guerrero's frog splash to RVD's 5-star frog splash. It's just magnificent. But who I think today has the best frog splash in wrestling right now is Michael Oku's 6-star frog splash. It is a thing of beauty. If this is your first time seeing it with these clips right here, maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, but it's just a beautifully executed frog splash. I think it fits Oku perfectly. The way he puts serious stank on this frog splash makes it look more impactful, and it does and sounds so impactful. Another amazing finisher from the top rope is the shooting star press. I can just list off wrestlers who do the shooting star press for 10 minutes. We got the creator of the shooting star press, Jushin Thunder Liger. We have other iconic users of the shooting star press like Billy Kidman, Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, Paul London. It's also one of the best finishers to come off the top rope. All right, I'm gonna move on to the best submission finishers in wrestling. Starting off with the Boston Crab, the Walls of Jericho. Say what you want about Jericho now, but whether it's the walls or the full-on lion tamer, it's a brutal looking move. Anytime I see anyone tap out from the Boston Crab, the Walls of Jericho, lion tamer, whatever you want to call it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because look at that boy's back. I think it's probably my favorite submission finisher or just submission move in general of all time. I was in love with this move since I was a kid. I was always putting my dad in the Walls of Jericho when we were playing wrestling in the living room. He's like, hey, stop, man, you're hurting my legs and back. And I'm like, I'm trying to win the match, bro. I'm trying to do the Walls of Jericho. It's always stuck out to me. Even like on 2K, when I make my guy, my creative wrestler, I don't equip the Boston Crab as like a signature or finisher, but I do equip it as a regular grapple submission. It's because I love the Walls, the Boston Crab so much. And I know Jericho is not the only guy to do it, obviously, but if I had to credit who made me fall in love with that hold, it's Chris Jericho. When I seen just break motherfuckers' backs with the Walls of Jericho, I would sit there like, oh man, this is an epic looking move. It looks wicked. It looks painful. And when he puts the knee to your back for the lion tamer, I'm like, oh, it's raps. It's raps. Like you ain't surviving that. Another iconic submission finish is the sharpshooter. I'm not the biggest sharpshooter fan. I got nothing against it. The scorpion deathlock, whatever you want to call it. I got nothing against anybody who uses it, but I feel like it has to be mentioned here. If we're talking about the greatest submission finishers of all time, another favorite submission of mine is the Gargano Escape, the Border City Stretch. Like with Jericho, if I have to give credit to a wrestler who made me fall in love with this move, it's Johnny Gargano. It's Johnny Wrestling. And do I love it partially because I'm biased because Gargano doing it? Yeah, probably. But also the move just looks awesome. Shelly and Gargano, they take a regular crossface and just trap your arm in it. First time I've seen that, I'm like, whoa, I've never seen that before. Like, who would have thought about trapping someone's arm while in a crossface? Apparently Alex Shelley did, because that's where Gargano got it from. And like with the Boston Crab, I always equip the Gargano Escape on my creative wrestler guy in 2K, and I do the same thing with this next move, the crossface. This is a basic crossface. I love the crossface so much. There was a period in WWE where Cesaro was having like the solid matches on TV or pay-per-view, and he was to do a crossface. I'm like, I was just mark out. You hadn't really seen crossfaces in a while since the one guy. So to me, seeing Cesaro do a crossface in modern wrestling, I thought was pretty awesome. All right, next we got the best striking finishers of all time. And I'm gonna start off here, man. I'm a mad sucker for a good old lariat. And getting into King's Road over the past year or so, Kenta Kobashi lariat just does something to me, man. You just hear the thud of his arm hitting his opponent's chest, and then just dropping instantly is like the coolest thing ever. A lot of people do lariats, especially in AEW, just for like near falls and kickouts. I have nothing against that, but when a lariat finishes a match, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I think on my 2K creative wrestler recently, I had like a clothesline as a finisher because like it's just so cool. It's so simple but so effective. I love it when Pac, at least when he used to do it as a finisher, I thought it was awesome. Claudio Castagnoli used to do it as a finisher for a little bit. I thought that was cool. But shout out to the people who do use lariats consistently as the finisher. Shout out to Jamie Hayter, man, doing a Haterade as a finisher, whether it's the Ripcord version or the arm trap version. This just looks awesome. I made a lariat compilation of Jamie Hayter like a year ago. I called it a Queen of the Lariat. She probably has the best lariat of any women's division, at least in the United States currently. Another shout out to a lariat finisher user, if I'm saying that right, Kazuchika Oka's Rainmaker. It's so silly. It's just a clothesline and not really an impactful one either. You guys, it's all about the ripcord, man. It's the ripcord that's the true bread and butter of the Rainmaker. That's what matters the most. Not the clothesline, it's the Rainmaker. Cause he spins you around and you're kind of dizzy. You're like, oh man, where am I at? My head's kind of feels like boom! Clothesline Rainmaker. Then you're done because of that ripcord beforehand. It dazes you. Throws you off the game. It's like, well, where the hell am I? He just spun me around. I was looking over there, now I'm looking in front of him. Boom! Rainmaker to your chest, you're done. Buckshot Lariat too for Hangman Page. Again, another goofy kind of clothesline move. The theatrics of him slingshotting onto his feet over the ropes. That dude's knees are gonna hate him in his 40s. But it's all about the flip. He does throw a standard monster lariat sometimes, but when he adds the slingshot flip in it, oh man, it's raps. It's raps. Because much like the ripcord in the Rainmaker, the slingshot in the buckshot lariat throws you off too. It throws the wrestler off because like he's hanging right. He's like, okay, he's gonna enter the ring. Oh no, he's flying over the top. What is he doing? Oh, he lands on his feet. Boom. Most times people don't got enough time to react because that flip over the top throws them off the game. It's like, whoa, what the hell? Yeah, long story short, I love a lariat. I also love the hidden blade. I feel like the hidden blade is talked about a lot, and rightfully so, as one of the best finishers in wrestling currently. So I'm not gonna talk about it too much because, you know, I feel like it gets talked about almost ad nauseum, but again, rightfully so. It's probably the best striking finisher in wrestling right now. And before we move on to the next category, I want to talk about a Juice Effect. I feel like it's pretty underrated. Is it a bit of a downgrade from the Codebreaker? Yeah, a little bit. It doesn't look as cool, but I feel like the Juice Effect is cool for the same reasons as the hidden blade. It's quick, it's out of nowhere, it's a damn elbow to your face, so it's pretty believable. I know people were kind of clowning on it when he first started doing it, but I think he looks cool. I think he hits it pretty well. And Radu Constantine's comment mentions the Claymore. Honestly, if you hadn't mentioned the Claymore, I probably would have forgot about it. No shit against the Claymore. I just, you know, don't watch that much WWE. Even though I don't watch that much WWE, I love the Claymore. It's so good, and it's awesome how like the best moves are just kind of invented like on accident. Drew McIntyre said several times on record the Claymore was an accident. Yeah, I think he was just supposed to throw a boot, and because his pants he was wearing in the match were tight, his other leg came flying up too, and it looked like just the greatest single leg drop kick, Yakuza kick of all time, whatever you want to call it. So that's how the Claymore came to be. You don't necessarily have to do like a full backflip like Ricochet or Cedric Alexander to make it look devastating, but it certainly does help it look more devastating than it already looks and sounds. And it's so synonymous with Drew McIntyre. Like anytime you see anyone throw a single leg drop kick, you think of the Claymore, you think of Drew McIntyre. Even in this day and age, I feel like it's hard to come up with a move and make it synonymous with you, but Drew McIntyre did that with the Claymore in this modern landscape of wrestling. So I feel like that's a feat in itself that doesn't even get talked about as much. To close out this video, I'm just gonna list a bunch of finishers that I love. I don't really know what category you would call this. I guess like slams. But before we get to those, I want to throw in, you know, the other moves that you should talk about out of necessity, and that's the Stone Cold Stunner and the RKO. I'm more of an RKO guy myself, but I do like a good stunner too. When the RKO hit mainstream with the whole RKO out of nowhere meme, Vines, whatever, that's when you knew you had a good finisher, because not only was it memorable in the wrestling fandom, but also hit the mainstream, and he had even non-wrestling fans saying and even doing RKOs in public. Like, have you seen a video of like the high school graduate like RKOing like his buddy at the graduation? But he RKO'd somebody. I think he even got his diploma taken away. So when you have motherfuckers doing your move in public, that's how you know you made a good move. Randy Orton should be forever proud of himself. Even if he does regret it now this late in his career, because he said that he regrets choosing the RKO as a finisher when he was younger, because now that he's doing it when he's older and more beat up, it's been taxing on his back over the course of his career. So that's unfortunate to hear, but when he hangs it up, he should still be proud of, you know, having the RKO as his finisher. I know he didn't come up with the cutter though. DDP made the cutter probably popular in the wrestling space with his diamond cutter. Like when people say that, oh, Randy Orton has the best use of the cutter, he's the inventor of the cutter. Yeah, people going, well, actually DDP did the cutter first. He did a diamond cutter. Like, we all know that, man. I'm not arguing who invented the cutter. I'm just arguing that Randy Orton probably has the best use of it, and just to be proud of it in general because of how mainstream it got. I'm also a sucker for a good old power driver, a good old tombstone. Nowadays in wrestling, a match that ends in a power driver or a tombstone is pretty rare, especially on AEW. You got Moxley doing a power driver 5 minutes in a match for a quick 2 counts. But since I love power driver so much, I don't really care that people kick out of it, you know, because I just love seeing a power driver, you know. One person that does do a power driver as a finisher right now is Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd does a standard power driver for a finisher, and sometimes he even does like a leg capture power driver on occasion. So I think that's cool that he's using just a standard power driver for the most part as a finisher. I always mark out for Okada when he does a tombstone. At least before joining WWE, Penta of course had the Fear Factor, which is a package power driver as his finisher, and Kevin Owens sometimes before his hiatus did the package power driver, but in WWE was like a death move. I think that's cool, like as opposed to AEW where power drivers are, you know, mostly just kick out transitional setup moves. If you don't like that, you can go WWE and watch Kevin Owens do a package power driver to put someone on the shelf for weeks or even a month. I think that's cool how there's the difference in that. People use that for the tribalist arguments. I just think that's cool that there's 2 promotions that have 2 different ideologies on the impact of a power driver. Last move I want to talk about, and it's probably my current favorite wrestling move right now, is a good old brainbuster, specifically Kyle Fletcher's brainbuster / the turnbuckle brainbuster, which is just absurd that that's even a thing, you know. We've seen El Generico do it throughout the indies, and I'm so glad that Kyle Fletcher brought it back into a major promotion because it's just awesome. But I'm mostly talking about just the standard brainbuster because this is so damn gnarly. I feel like he has the best use of the brainbuster right now currently. I mean, I feel like the only person I can think of is Tomohiro Ishii maybe, because he uses a brainbuster as a finisher. But Kyle Fletcher's brainbuster is probably my #1 one favorite finisher right now. Let me know about y'all's thoughts on the moves I listed throughout this video. If I missed any, what are your favorite finishers? What do you think are the best finishers in wrestling? I kind of did both sides here. I talked about moves that I think are the best. I also mentioned my favorite moves that I like better than the more popular ones. Yeah, I did name a bunch of like basic picks, moves that everybody loves, but hey, those are the moves I love as well. But yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Give me more video ideas, guys, because recently I've been kind of dry on ideas. I've been doing a lot of shorts and I've been doing a lot of reels on my new Instagram. At the Elevated One, follow the Instagram if y'all want more short format stuff. But yeah, just give me more ideas for videos, guys, and I'll crank them out for y'all. But anyways, enough rambling. That's it for today. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thank y'all for watching.